This video is a continuation of my previous one, where I talk about Acacia Kersey's beginnings on social media. Acacia always claimed to be a victim of bullying, all while being rude, insensitive, and just outright racist. She has many videos and posts of her saying the N-word, perpetuating stereotypes, and excusing her behavior by using her black adopted sister. This topic is sensitive and your discretion is advised, but I'm going to censor a lot. Links to all uncensored videos and posts will be in my description. We'll start with the videos.
That is my makeup tutorial. Peace out.
I'm Letitia.
And I'm Bonquisha.
I like chicken.
Your eyes! What the?
Peace out.
Like the sweetest thing I've ever known. About to go Thriller, Mike Jackson on his all
I want you back.
Okay.
But you hang out with black people.
Oh, I'm
Black.
Just kidding. I wish I was black. I pray to Jesus Christ I pray to Jesus Christ every night before synagogue. What? And I'm like, can I please be black? I will give you my llama, my Kool-Aid. About to get my weave put in.
Acacia also made these posts with one of her friends who is black, and the captions say she's enjoying stereotypically black American food like chicken, gumbo, and Kool-Aid. Acacia used the N-word as a nickname for others and herself in tweets and regularly used to use the word Chinese as an insult and made comments about the community, but most of them were deleted. Acacia has an adopted black sister, Malaya.
In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Butane in my veins, double mouth to cut the chunky with the plastic eyeballs.
This is my ginormous fat sister. I'm not fat.
You are ginormous.
And what color are you?
I am brown and do not say I'm black.
She's like
The
black.
end. Period.
She's brown. So you got a big butt and you cannot lie.
The longest place I've been is where I live now, and it's like Valencia area by Six Flags, and that was like 7 years if you add them all
So
up.
all your friends are black. They have to be. Valencia, that's like the ghetto, right? That's
No,
where all
it's
the
like-
gangs are.
No, it's
No.
like it's like I think in like 10 years ago it was, but now it's like
Don't
nice.
ruin my dreams.
Sorry.
I mean, my sister's black.
Acacia. That's why your name is Acacia.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
What's
She's
your sister-
adopted and she's younger than me.
Oh. Are you jelly of her a little bit?
I mean, I'm jealous of her butt because I'm a white girl.
How old
so-
is she?
She's 9.
Yeah.
Acacia used her sister as an excuse for her words and actions, like in this tweet where she's laughing at someone pointing at her racism and says, "Have we forgotten my sister's black?" Throughout the years of being called out, Acacia never acknowledged this properly or apologized. It's obvious her parents and family allowed, and maybe even encouraged this type of behavior. But even once Acacia moved out of her parents' home and became an adult, she never did any reflecting on her past and chose to ignore it while continuing to be an influencer on social media. Blocking and ignoring worked for a while until people started reaching out to her sponsors in 2020 and showing them all the things Acacia did and said. Naturally, companies didn't want to be represented by a person like Acacia, and every sponsor she had quickly dropped her. This forced her to finally address her past. Acacia chose to address this in a short statement on her Twitter and said, "I am not young me. I am not even the me I was 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry to everyone I personally hurt when I was young, naive, and uneducated. All I can do is continue to try, and God knows I'm trying my best. I hope that's enough for everyone. And if it's not, I am so sorry. Growth, love, and time is our greatest ally. We're all doing our best. She also posted an Instagram story and said, I do want to say though, if I ever made you personally feel as though you weren't enough, I'm sorry. If I ever was unkind to you, I'm sorry. If I ever got defensive because I was scared, and it didn't allow me for the room to just listen to you, I'm sorry. Let me tell you, the list of things I've done wrong is a very long one. And I can also assure that I'll continue to add to it because I'm not perfect. I'm just glad that I didn't stay the person I was. I'm glad I've learned, and I'm so glad that many of you are the people who taught me. Thank you for your kindness. People were not satisfied with this apology, including a fan named Naya, whose account is now deleted. Naya responded to Acacia's apology and said she was unsatisfied with it, and Acacia replied saying that she was a drunk teen and all she can do now is say sorry, like she does in this thread of tweets. Other people were unsatisfied with this apology too, because Acacia didn't actually address anything in it, and after receiving many comments about it, Acacia put out more tweets. For those wondering, when I was younger, when most of you started following me, I was so uneducated and stupid you could not understand, which is why I never liked to, still don't, talk about my Tumblr phase or watch those famous videos. I said so many harmful things to the people I loved and cared for. I thought saying disgusting words was funny. I thought being disgusting was funny. Really have no excuses. With all that being said, I do not believe a thing I said when I was younger. They are not a reflection of who I am today, but a reflection of how much I've learned and grown. This is not a pity party. It's a reassurance that do not discriminate towards anyone and everyone is welcome here. Naya came out and shared a private conversation she's had with Acacia, where she gives Acacia a general idea about what her apology should sound like. Instead of using this as a base, Acacia copied her message word by word and tweeted the previous thread of tweets I just read. Thanks to Violet on Twitter, I have some screenshots of Naya and Acacia's conversation. You can pause to read in full, but Acacia says, yes, when I was 12 and 13, I did very stupid things, irreversible things. I copped out. I was stupid and uneducated like my original tweet said. You can believe me or you can choose to not. I don't think you'll ever forgive me or think anything more of me. I'm very sorry. I hope you have a good night. I don't want to apologize for being something I'm not. Racist. I'm just apologizing for something I did. Racial slurs. Well, when I said the N-word, I was talking about everyone. I didn't use them towards black people or say black people are. I had no malicious intent when saying the slur. Naya says, you call that an apology? And Acacia replied, I call my tweets an apology. I call my second story an apology. I call my time reassuring you and answering everything you wanted to know an apology. I call my persistence to continue to be educated an apology. I call teaching my daughters the harm of racism and how deep it goes and their roles in society an apology. Acacia also doesn't understand why everyone is unsatisfied with her Twitter apology. If you think your apology was right, then why do you think Opinion Twitter is mad about the apology? Acacia replied, because I don't think even I did everything they ever asked that they would be okay. Also, other than you and a few others, so many Opinion Twitter people who are messaging me on Instagram right now about my apology are white. Eventually, after receiving continuous comments about it, Acacia was forced to make a YouTube video about the situation. I'm going to play some of it here, but it's also linked in full in the description.
I want to make this video because, one, I owe it to the people in the Black community that I have hurt, and I owe it to all of my viewers who deserve a lot better from me. So I want to start off by apologizing. I want to start off by saying I'm sorry. When I was a teenager, I said and used the N-word What I can say is that when I was ignorant, I was not aware of the generational damage that it causes, like I'm aware now. And all I can do is apologize for ever being that sort of ignorant and ever doing anything along those lines, or ever thinking that stereotypes were funny, because they are not funny. I also want to make clear that never in my life, even at my most ignorant point in my teenage years, did I ever believe that anyone deserved less than me because of the color of their skin. The level of stupidity and ignorance is just astounding. And I could sit here, you know, giving excuses and trying to possibly explain what was going through my head, or so on and so forth, of what I was doing when I said those words. But all in all, it doesn't really matter. What matters is doing my best to take accountability, and doing my best to be educated, and doing my best to educate those around me, and hopefully have some change come from this. I am here. I'm here to show growth, and I'm here to show that I am not that person anymore. All in all, I can say that no matter how I feel about the situation, I did it, and I am sorry.
Now, Acacia's apology was made for her fans and members of the Black community, and as I'm not one, it's not for me to accept or deny it. But I can have an opinion, and my opinion is that her apology is disingenuous and doesn't properly address the situation. I've seen creators apologize for way smaller things, like Jenna Marbles making a 50-minute long video talking about her fish. Even if Acacia learned and changed since her teenage days, waiting until this started to affect her financially is selfish and irresponsible, especially because she was making money off of the platform. Without a doubt, we were all raised on outdated ideologies, and everyone has done something hateful as a child because of what our parents and society taught us. At some point, as we grow older, we realize how wrong this is. Learn about the reasons why what we did was wrong, and have an opportunity to change ourselves and how we interact with the world. Most of us do this early and get to do it in private, but not Acacia because she made her mistakes public. But I think Acacia had a missed opportunity here. If she was truly remorseful, Acacia could address her past behavior without being forced to. She could take accountability for what she said while also acknowledging that she was still a developing teenager and tell us about what she's learned and how she's grown since then. She even had an opportunity to do something for the community she's hurt. Also, all of these insensitive videos are still up on YouTube channels that are under Acacia's name. If they're Acacia's alternate accounts, that means that she might have profited or continues to profit off of them today if they're still getting views. If they're not Acacia's accounts and she can't directly remove them, I'm sure she could reach out to YouTube team, explain the situation, and report these videos as hate speech. It's pretty crazy that they updated their terms of service policy so long ago, and yet openly hateful videos like hers are still up on the platform. The murder of George Floyd by a police officer in Minneapolis was the catalyst to Black Lives Matter protests that happened all around the world in opposition to police brutality. Celebrities and internet personalities everywhere were bringing awareness to this, including Acacia, who posted a beige square and said, "Black Lives Matter. Right now, my job is to use my power, my privilege, and my platform to support the Black community in any possible way that I can. My job is to educate myself and my white peers every single day on what's going on in this world and what we can do to help end it. My job is to amplify and highlight Black voices that are screaming for change. My job is to be the best big sister to my first baby, Malaya, because I would give my life for her and fight for her till the day I die. My job is to donate all the money I can right now to organizations that are doing so much good for this world. My following consists of mostly white women, so I'm begging you to join, to learn, to listen, to follow, to be beside, to donate, to lift, to support, and to use your privilege to its fullest extent to aid the resistance and fight police brutality. My stories have been and will continue to be a place where I share all the news updates, Black voices, testimonies, links, sources, petitions, organizations, Black owned businesses, Black women content creators, protest information, uplifting articles, and all the education that I can possibly find. Those stories also live indefinitely on my profile in my Black Lives Matter highlight for you to come back to at any point and reshare. Silence is not an option. In this highlight, she shared infographics, news resources, and other personal thoughts, and said, "The easiest thing I've ever done was getting educated on how my whiteness affects my life and the entire social system. It is the simplest and smallest thing you can do to begin being a voice and an ally for those who need it. Now is the time more than ever." I know I'm getting a lot of not so positive messages for speaking now, but I know that I vowed to myself, my sister, and the entire community of people I let down before that I would do everything I can to educate myself, my white peers, my children, and my audience, and I will continue to do that. But when election time came in November, Acacia didn't vote. She wasn't registered in Oregon, and because this is public record, people found out pretty fast and started calling her out. Acacia posted on her story and said that she couldn't vote because you need a driver's license number and she didn't have an ID. She said that by the time she had her DMV appointment, it was a day before registration closed. But Acacia gave birth a day before that, on October 11, so it was impossible for her to vote. These are clearly lies because she's posted with her license visible in her phone case in the past, and even if she's lost her license, a user privately sent her information on voter registration in Oregon that does not require a driver's license. Acacia waited for the last possible moment to do anything about the election while preaching about how important it is to vote and be active, and said she even made sure other people in her family voted. As time passed, Acacia was posting about Black Lives Matter and activism less frequently, but was still active on social media until the preset scandal happened in summer of 2021. Being hateful to a whole race of people wasn't enough to stop her, but being a thief was, which is pretty telling of her audience. Since she left, the only activism Acacia did was post screenshots of her kids' books about Thanksgiving from a Native American perspective. Even if Acacia really learned and changed since her teenage years, it doesn't show very much. She only spoke up about her past when it started to affect her financially. Even if she's genuinely sorry now, it will always seem disingenuous because I'm sure that if it wasn't affecting her income, she wouldn't address it. Public figures have a lot more responsibility in society because whether they want it or not, they're affecting people. Acacia's hateful mindset was a result of an upbringing that encouraged it, bad parenting and ignorance. But if she really cared about it and changed who she was in the position to make a real difference and help the people she hurt. Choosing to remain ignorant and stay quiet shows how selfish and cowardly she is. I hope that now, Acacia genuinely learned from her past, and for the sake of her kids and their future, she's continuing to educate herself in private and makes better choices than her parents did. Thank you for watching.